Number 9.
Arizona Cardinals. I've never trusted them. I sort of kind of do now. They scored on 5 straight drives to open the game against the Jets. 4 of them, 70-plus yards. They're patient offensively, and they've really figured out the defense. They stopped the Chargers' offense when they came to town. He completed 17 straight passes at one point. I've been saying all year, I love their weapons. Do I trust the franchise? Upstairs, ownership, not really. But I will say in terms of offensive talent, receiver, tight end, back, tackle, quarterback, they're really, really good. Really, really good. That win over the Niners in Santa Clara was not a fluke.
Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals are a really fascinating team right now. I mean, I'd been talking about them, and nothing too much of a deep dive, but even early on in the season, I really kind of said, listen, the Cardinals are really going to go as far as Kyler Murray. It feels this team is so boom or bust in terms of, does Kyler Murray have like an extraordinary game where he plays like a top 3 quarterback or not? And if he plays like a top 3 quarterback, they win. If he doesn't, they lose. What it feels to me right now is that the Arizona Cardinals feel more complete. They feel more balanced. Don't get me wrong. This team is still going by Kyler Murray, right? Like, Kyler Murray will still carry this team. And that's why he's an MVP candidate. I think he's a genuine MVP candidate and not one of those, you got to we can't just have 1, 2 people in there. We got to have 3, 4, whatever. Like, no, he should legitimately be considered to be a top and like serious discussion for MVP candidate. And it's a tough one because the whole conversation about MVPs is just always constantly just become quarterback award, as well as who's got the best record and who's got like high enough stats. Boom, that's the MVP. And the reality is you got to look at it from so many different angles. Who's the coach? What's the team? What were the expectations of this team? The roster? Like, there's just so many factors at play. Who are you playing? The moments you have, and it's just, unfortunately, it's going to be hard for me to see the Kyler Murray getting the MVP unless they don't lose a single game from this point out and they somehow lock the number 1 seed. Then I could see it. But if anything shy of that, it's just I'm not necessarily seeing it, which is unfortunate, quite frankly. But I think Kyler Murray has absolutely completely really reminded everyone who he is, right? And what he was always destined to become. He's comfortable. He's happy. He's confident. Listen, I think Kyler Murray can still be a little prickly, honestly. Like, I think he can still kind of have that edge, but there's still way more things I like about Kyler over things that I don't like about him. Like the thing that still always gets kind of thrown at him is the whole video game playing and stuff like that. Because I was watching a clip before where someone's like, oh, he finally put down the video games and now he's ready to play or something. And it's just like, first off, there was a recent study that showed that doctors, surgeons who play video games make less errors while doing surgery and complete surgery quicker. Okay? So if it's good enough for surgeons, then it's certainly good enough for NFL athletes. I'll just say that. Also, in a world and in a league specifically, where, my goodness, do we have so many athletes getting up to no good, man. Like, there's obviously no shortage of athletes getting in trouble in all of professional sports, whether it's the NFL, NBA, whatever it may be. You got people having hit and runs, other things that I don't even want to say out loud because I don't want it to, I don't want this video to be like for mature audiences. So just bad stuff that happens all the time. Too frequently, quite frankly. And the worst thing about Kyler Murray is that he likes to, like, he's a homebody, that he likes to hang out at home and play video games. That's a victory, man. That's a huge victory. He's not closing down clubs and getting into trouble. And I've only spent a very brief time in Arizona, but I know it can be pretty fun out there, right? The things get wild in the desert. So the fact that he's more of a chill person, I think is a positive, quite frankly. So I think it's pretty cool, right? They were unranked. I don't think they were ranked this entire season. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals were on pretty much anyone's radar except for actual Arizona Cardinals fans. And when I saw what they did against the Buffalo Bills and a couple of the other games, even against the Detroit Lions, like all of those things signaled to me like, hey, there's something there's something here. And the last couple of years were a little rough because Kyler goes down, and then the team falls apart, and then you have this last year where Kyler's not playing, so it's obviously a rough start, new coach, new everything, new GM, all this type of stuff. Then Kyler comes into the middle of the season, and it's like at that point, like you're not really expecting the Cardinals to be able to do much, and Kyler has to shake off rust, retrust his body. Like there's just too much stuff going on to really have any strong sense of what this team is. And then this season starts, and a tough loss against the Buffalo Bills, but like pretty high about it. And then like Kyler Murray's playing pretty good, but then again, they have a couple other tough losses, and they just kind of fall out of favor. Now they start to get some legitimate wins and wins against legitimate teams. And it's like, okay, we got to take them seriously. And also, even when you play a bad team like the New York Jets, you let them know they are indeed a bad team. I mean, look what happened with the Jets versus the Texans. All right. I mean, like even the 49ers versus the Jets didn't feel like this. This was 31-6. So I really think what the Cardinals have been doing all season is kind of getting reintegrated, getting resituated to who they are, balancing their offense out, having their defense step up, because that's why you got the head coach that you got, honestly, was to be able to get a lockdown defense. And all of this stuff now is starting to come in full circle. I mean, a few weeks ago, there was rumors that the Cardinals were going to be in sell mode, right? That they were going to be getting rid of a lot of players because it was like, hey, we're not going anywhere. We're going to go and sell and rebuild. And now the fact that they're favored significantly, by the way, like 10, 15, 20% plus on top to win the division. I mean, they're in the complete driver's seat. And who wants to face this team in the playoffs? When you have a quarterback like Kyler Murray, who wants to face a quarterback like that? You just don't, because he is an absolute ultimate wild card. Because he can absolutely play like the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, I don't think he consistently can play like the best quarterback in the NFL because I don't think he is that guy. So it's like the whole thing is can he play consistently enough at a good to great to elite level? And that's the damage that you're looking for. And it's unsettling. I don't know any team, any fan base that's going to be like, oh, good, we're facing the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. We'll be able to contain that, because there's no guarantee. There's absolutely zero guarantee. When you have someone as electric and as dynamic, and it's why I think it was Shanahan or McVay said that he is the most dangerous quarterback. Like, that is why. That really is why. And it makes 100% sense. I forget what I was trying to say. It makes sense when you actually watch Kyler Murray and you see what the Arizona Cardinals do. But again, it's so great to see this team more balanced and not so heavily reliant on Kyler. And then that's when you fall into the situation where if you are in the playoffs and you're in a competitive game, you're not necessarily relying on Kyler's heroics. You either get that game, which is awesome, and he will dominate and just torch a defense, or you have this really big balanced approach, and then you're just calling on Kyler Murray's number once or twice or three times in that game. And then again, it's going to be up to him, right? He either succeeds or he doesn't. And it's just a great place to be in. I just don't know who's going to want to really go up against the Cardinals, right? You want to go up against Geno Smith. You do. You want to go up against the Seahawks. You want to go up against, I was going to say the Chicago Bears, but they don't really have much of a chance. Like you want to go against, if Dak Prescott was still playing, the Dallas Cowboys. Like, these are all teams that can be really, really reliably predictable. There's not necessarily going to be a predictability about Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. So if they can shape up, stay hot, continue to stack these wins, lock down a playoff seed, specifically the division, that is just not going to be an easy game. It's just really, really not. They're going to have the energy. They're going to have the belief. And we never got to see Kyler Murray rise to the occasion come time playoffs, because unfortunately, just the way how his career has unfolded. And I imagine we will get a much different Kyler Murray this time around in the playoffs than we did his first time around. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Arizona Cardinals being ranked 9th, according to Colin Cowherd, and Kyler Murray's MVP, discussion candidacy? however we want to label it. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.